Hi guys, I'm Unstable Voltage and I'm here to take another look at Chaos Reborn, which is in development, and see the current state of the game's build and what's been added since the Kickstarter. I'm joined by the founder of Snapshot Games and the creator of Chaos Reborn, Julian Gollop.
Hello.
So we'll get into a game shortly, and we'll have a look at the progress so far, but before we do, let's just go over a few important things. For the benefit of people who have only just discovered the Chaos Reborn title, can you briefly explain what the game is about?
Sure. Chaos Reborn is primarily a tactical turn-based game of wizard combat where you're summoning spells and summoning creatures into battle, and there's a whole variety of spells and arenas involved in it. And we currently have a multiplayer arena battle implemented with a whole variety of spells and arenas.
And there's also going to be an RPG element to the game at some point as well?
Yeah, coming soon will be a very significant RPG element, and it's primarily single-player focus where you're exploring these realms and battling wizard lords and kings and finding all kinds of equipment and magical artifacts, building your spell knowledge. And this part of the game is very interesting because it will have a procedural generation for the actual realms themselves, and also to some extent some player generated content where wizard kings can create their own realms.
Now, Chaos Reborn was successfully kickstarted in April of 2014, and since then you've been giving public free access to play the prototype.
Yes, ever since the middle of the Kickstarter campaign we've let players have a go at the prototype as we've been developing it, and they've been playing new versions as we've been going along.
So you mentioned new versions there. In the last 7 months since the Kickstarter, how many updates have there been?
We have made 21 updates since the end of the Kickstarter, which is quite a lot, and we've had a lot of player feedback on that, which has been very useful in our development, and it has allowed us to experiment with some game mechanics and game balancing issues to really refine the gameplay.
So you're actually using player feedback from the prototype to sort of discover what works and the best way to implement certain mechanics?
Yes, absolutely. So, we introduced one or two mechanics which I didn't think worked so well, such as, say, a retreat mechanic, or we had something like a wizard hat, which is an item of equipment which didn't work so well. So, we took those out, and recently we've added some new mechanics which have worked really well, such as the wizard staff system and the mana sprite system, which we'll explain when we come to play the game.
So, what's the next step for Chaos Reborn?
So, the next step after our Steam launch on 9th of December will be an update which will include an AI opponent and some configuration options for creating your own battles with one or more AI opponents. That's going to be the main thing that we'll be working on next. And of course we will be adding more spells, including more creatures and some more spell types with each update.
So you mentioned the Steam launch there on the 9th of December, and that's early access, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's our first launch on Steam early access, and early players will get I think a really highly polished gameplay experience, but obviously it's a small subset of the features of the game that we've actually got planned, and we will be doing regular updates for the next 7 months or so until summer next year, when we'll have an official final release.
So I'll make sure that I put a link to the Steam page for Chaos Reborn down in the description below the video. What's going to happen with the public prototype once the game goes on to early access?
It will be retired, unfortunately, so it will no longer be accessible publicly for free. You will have to have either a Kickstarter backer reward, or you will have to buy the game on Steam. If you want to buy it on Steam, it will be available with a 15% discount for the first week of launch, from the 9th of December.
So for anybody who hasn't had a chance to play the prototype yet, at the time of recording this video, you've got around about a week left to do so. So I must remind people, of course, that the prototype is still currently multiplayer only. So you'll either need to bring a friend along, or try and find one of the random players in a game lobby, or even go to the Chaos Reborn forums and arrange a game there. And I can put all of the links to those in the video description for you as well. So I guess the next thing to do is to actually go in and have a look at the game, just so we can see how much progress has been made since we covered the prototype way back in April for the Kickstarter. So here we go. It's the nice new arenas. I think one of the major things that anyone's going to notice if they've seen the prototype or watched any of my older videos is how different graphically the game now looks.
Yeah, we spent a huge amount of effort on the graphics. You know, creatures, the animations, the arenas, everything looks completely different to the very basic prototype we had back in the Kickstarter days. And everything we've got here is animated. So I'm going to move my wizard. He's going to hop up here, for example. He's going to leap up there, cast a spell. Let's get this up. It's a little goblin. Here he comes. Succeeded.
And I can see that we've got music, and I think people may have been able to hear that while we were talking over the profile screen. But we've also got some sound effects in there as well now. Yes,
everything's got sound effects. All the creatures have their own individual unique sounds, and the spells also. So over to you.
I'm going to try and, knowing my luck, not summon anything at all. So I can see down at the bottom now all of the... I mean, obviously it's not really a card game as such, but the actual spells themselves are represented by these sort of graphical cards.
Yes. Yeah, it sort of has a sort of card game sort of paradigm attached. You've got a spell deck there, which is, you know, randomly selected selection of spells, and you're drawing from that spell deck each time. So the cards that you can see along the bottom is your hand of cards, your hand of spells.
And those are all the spells that I've got that I could potentially play on this this turn. Yep. And of course you can burn spells as well to actually gain mana points that will allow you to have a better chance of success casting something else.
Yeah, this is a major way to mitigate some risk in the game, is that you can use mana points to boost the casting chance of your spells. You'll notice some of the really powerful spells have got a very low chance of success. And you can take a risk casting, or you can use mana points to boost the casting chance. I see you've got a magic bow.
I know how much you love the magic bow from previous Gollop Wallop tournaments.
Yeah, if used effectively, it's a very nice spell indeed. I'm going to head over towards this mana sprite up here. This is another way of gaining mana. If a wizard moves into a mana sprite, he can pick it up. Send my goblin towards you, and I'm going to cast a spell. So go for an eagle. Okay, here we go.
So you've got some very nice casting animations coming in as well now. Even the animation on the staffs, I actually quite like the animation you've got going on your wizard staff there.
Yeah, it's got some little chaos particles. I've got a staff of chaos, which is makes my spells a bit more chaos oriented, and I can boost chaos spells more than other spells. And you have got, your staff is a staff of growths, which means that you can boost the growth type spells. That's the gooey blobs and the shadow forest and the tanglevine.
Let's have a go at this. No, maybe that's not the. Where's the cancel button?
If you right click, you can always cancel anything with right click. Yes.
Didn't quite have the range for something that I thought I would, so let's try something else instead. My usual look. I don't want to get myself cornered too much, so...
Yeah, you need to be careful about my eagle, because it's got a long range. Let's just put him over here. I can't reach you this turn, but maybe next turn.
And of course it is a flying creature, so it can get around a lot of stuff.
I'm going to pick up this mana sprite here. That's given me 25 mana points, so I can try a bigger spell. Let's go for a Manticore.
And I don't particularly like those things.
Yeah, it's a very nice beast. Wizards can ride them. They've got a ranged attack. They can fly.
So that's one of the first creature that I tried to summon there that failed. The elephant is another one of the mountable creatures that that is in the game.
Yeah, it's a very good one. A difficult one to summon. It's only 50% chance, but it's very worthwhile once you can get it. Oh, nice shot.
Got to love that bow. Now that's probably not going to work there. Let me go for this, I think. If it works. And it doesn't. Typical. Right. So obviously random numbers play a very big part in Chaos Reborn.
Yeah, they do. And you can be unlucky.
Which I'm probably about to be.
No, that's you survived that attack.
Managed to survive that one.
Let's see what else I can rustle up. I think I'll try and summon a Hydra. Not much chance, but let's see. No, okay, it failed.
That was one of the newer creatures as well, wasn't it? Wasn't in like the original prototype.
No, I mean it's the ultimate chaos creature at the moment. It has a multiple attack capability. It's very, very tough. But difficult to summon. Oh, you subverted my Manticore. That's really changed things around a little bit.
Yeah, the tides have turned now. And also, I should be able to...
Oh,
he survived it.
Yeah, you survived.
There we go.
So move, yes.
Successful mount.
Yeah, so now you're pretty well tooled up. You've got a mount. You've got a bow. My goblin's going to have to attack you there. Oh.
Oh, wow, that Manticore didn't survive long, did it?
So, I'm going to send something else at you now. Let's see if I can summon this one.
So, on every turn, a wizard is able to cast a spell, move, and attack.
Yeah, that's correct. So, I've just summoned a skeleton, and I'm now going to run away. I can't attack.
You do have to be careful with skeletons, because obviously they're undead, and they can't be killed by non-undead creatures.
No, but you do have a magic bow, and that can be used to kill skeletons.
This is very true. Now I'm engaged to your goblin, which means I have to attack it because I can't move away.
Yes, that's true. I succeeded.
He's down. Gave it a good thump, and he goes down.
So now you're free to move.
Now,
away from the skeleton.
I can't necessarily kill the skeleton, but what I could attempt to do is this.
The gooey blob.
Which is, I think, iconic of the original Chaos.
That's right, yes. It's a very powerful spell, but in a way it's also a little bit uncontrollable, a little bit chaotic. You can't control where it spreads, but it has stuck my skeleton. I can free him if I can get a creature to attack the blob, but I don't have any other creatures. So I'm going to come down here.
So he's not going anywhere for a while?
Probably not, no. The blob will die out at some point, but I'm going to try and summon a nice big creature to have a go at it. Let's see if I can summon a giant. No. Okay. And now it's spreading.
The blob spreads.
Oh, I'll have to move out of the way, otherwise my wizard will be blobbed as well.
Now, obviously, your own gooey blob can sort of block the way for you and stop you from being able to summon creatures where there is blob. But I'm assuming that you're relatively safe from your own gooey blob. It's not going to spread to you.
It won't spread on your own creatures, no. So it won't attack you. But it can get in your way, as you said.
Oh, well, I did debate actually going for the illusion there. Maybe I should have. So, I mean, that is one of the things that you can do, isn't it? If you you'll have 100% chance if you actually cast it as an illusion.
Yeah. Oh, nice shot. Killed the skeleton.
I still find that the bow is worth its weight in gold in this game.
It is very good. And you have to make sure that you can try and use it each turn, which you've done quite effectively so far. Now I've got a major strategic decision to make. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast something called Chaos Shift. And this will push the balance of the universe towards chaos.
So what was that, an extra 20% it just went up?
Yeah, well now it chaos, and you'll notice the environment is changing a little bit. We've got some chaotic rocks floating around. Things have changed a little bit in colour. And this is going to boost chaos spells significantly. So from my point of view, it's a strategic move. I'm going to move away from the gooey blob, and then my turn. Oof, it's running after me.
That was lucky. It's quite aggressive, that gooey blob, isn't it?
Yeah, it's spreading very well at the moment.
So I guess what I should do now is try and find a way to be a little bit more aggressive towards you.
Yes, I'm on the back foot at the moment.
Oh, and a cast that actually worked for me.
Yeah, and eagles are quite dangerous for wizards. They've got a long range, and wizards are weak, so I'm going to have to seriously consider retreating. I'm going to try and cast a Hydra again. Let's see if it works this time. Okay. Here we go. I've got a much better chance now.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, because the balance was shifted towards chaos, and the Hydra is a chaos creature. I got a much better casting chance. So we have Hydra.
Oh, and the blob's heading towards it.
Yeah.
Now, as I understand it, the Hydra has a very special attack.
Yeah, so Hydra can attack every single adjacent enemy in one turn, and that makes it quite devastating in the right situation. Shadowwood.
Let's just mess up the battlefield a little bit more and make getting around even more difficult.
Yeah, it's a good defensive spell. I mean, the Shadowwood trees can attack, but they can't move. So it's quite difficult for me to reach you at the moment. Hydra's powerful, but he's land-bound and he can only move 2 hexes at a time. Let's see what I can do. I can go up here. And it will attack both the eagle and the shadow tree next to it in one turn. I killed the shadow tree, but not your eagle.
It is nice, of course, now, what we didn't have in the prototype, that you can actually click on any creature, be it your own or an opponent's, and see where they can move and what their attack success chance is on what targets they have. Yeah,
so the game gives you a lot of information, and you can make your judgments based on that. And the basic thing is the attack percentages, which is your chance to kill something in battle or with a spell.
It looks like the blob's starting to die out just a little there.
Yeah, it's reaching the end of its life, I think. Next turn you might be able to grab that mana sprite, possibly.
Possibly, but not necessarily. Let's see if this works.
Oh, magic attack. He killed it.
So I'm guessing the Hydra probably has a relatively good magic resistance too.
Yeah, it does. But it is vulnerable to those spells. Magic attacks are powerful. Oh no, Andy Regal killed my goblin as well. I really am on the back foot here.
Tactics.
Yeah.
And I haven't played this for quite some time, but we all have our off days.
Well, let's see what I can do about that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I can actually do, so I'll end the turn there.
Okay, I'm going to try subverting your eagle. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, succeeded.
Oh, success.
He can't move this turn, but he is mine. And I'm feeling a bit more confident. I can move a little bit closer there.
And the blob starts to recede again.
Yeah. I would like to get that mana sprite in the center of the map.
One thing that I do find a little strange, and I have seen people mention it with regards to this game. Some people don't necessarily like the random element of it, the fact that you have these percentage chances for certain abilities to fail, which is fine because I think, you know, everyone has their own individual playstyle. But I guess it's worth mentioning for people who aren't aware that you're probably best known for the original XCOM UFO Defense.
Yes, that's correct.
And that is being critically acclaimed as one of the best sort of strategy games of all time, and random numbers play a very big part. Yeah,
well, the thing about random numbers is that you know, over time, over a period, even during a game, you know, the random numbers are going to pretty much even out. It's all about how you make use of each tactical situation and try and maximize your chances of success and minimize your risk. With Chaos Reborn, you know, there are different play styles, so you can play the game aggressively and relying a lot on the randomness, or you can play more cautiously and try and accumulate mana to boost your spell chances and not risk actually, you know, trying to do some very risky spell casting. So I'm going to try and move my eagle. It's going to go up here and see if it can kill your wizard. Only a 20% chance. Oh, but it succeeded.
Oh, wow. So even despite all my aggressive play and what seemed like dominating the battlefield for the majority of the game, you managed to turn it round there right at the end. And yeah. I guess that's what you were saying with the sort of randomness. It's not necessarily about gambling against the odds. It's about sort of adjusting the odds in your favour.
Yeah, it's about taking calculated risks. And calculating the risks is not always easy. You know, you do have to think about it. And, you know, sometimes you take more risks, sometimes less, and that's what makes the game, you know, interesting from turn to turn.
But there we have it. That is Chaos Reborn, which is going on to Steam Early Access on December the 9th. And again, I'll put the link below in the video. Remember that what you are seeing here is from the sort of... Is this an alpha or a beta version of the...
It's an alpha version, yeah.
This is an alpha. So this is only an alpha version of the game you're seeing here. So do bear in mind that it isn't representative of the final product. And there's still quite an awful lot more to come. But go over onto the Chaos Reborn website or onto the Steam link in the video below and check it out for yourself. So thanks a lot for joining us, Julian.
Thank you.
And thanks for beating me once again at your own game.
You're welcome.
And I hope you'll come back a little bit later on through the development cycle and we can revisit it and see where we've got to.
Sure.
Okay, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.